The new moon in Libra, Saturday, October the 16th in Australia, has been earmarked as one of the toughest for the year. And it's been quite a year. 2020 was always going to be about having 2020 vision. And Libra is the first sign in the zodiac to start from the point of view of the other and to learn to relate. Libra is the sign of the scales, and it represents the search for balance in all relationships. And that means justice. We're currently in a world where justice is being questioned. Truth has become emotive and subjective, and freedom of expression is used for hate speech. Libra likes manners and basic courtesy, even in conflict. Julia Gillard is a Libran. Watch her misogyny speech. Classic demonstration. This new moon tips her scales, and the gloves are off. The issue is the sun and moon are in a face-off with Mars, who is retrograde in Aries. Mars is the god of war and gives us the energy and the passion to want to win. But in retrograde, his aim is turned inward, messed up about what he wants, and angry where it didn't turn out how he thought. This is bringing frustrations to the surface, extremes of opinion and a disintegration of patience. It feels like time is running out. The sun and moon opposite are drawing a line in the sand and bringing the conflict to a head. Mars is fighting his inner demons and must choose an authentic path or face defeat. And this is the issue many will be pondering in this moon phase. Are you fighting to be right, or are you fighting because it's right? The dwarf planet Eris has been acting as a guide for Mars on his spiritual quest. She represents an uncivilized aspect of feminine power, a shrew who will not bow down to the patriarchy or control. She's an energy that gets people out on the streets in outrage and protest. Her voice cannot be silenced when there's an injustice. And Mars is being asked to consider fighting for her cause, rather than his own selfish needs. It stirs the collective to speak up en masse, to choose where they stand on an issue and fight for a principle. And just to make sure we really get that this is about justice, Jupiter, Pluto, and Saturn are at the midpoint between Libra's sun and moon and Mars and Eris in Aries. This is called a T-square, and it sets up a three-sided conflict. It's like a presidential debate where two parties talk over the top of each other and the moderator is left interjecting from the side, trying to join the fray. In the battle, the opposition is overt. We can see it clearly. What we can't see is the moderator, the overseer, who has a divine plan. Jupiter, Pluto, and Saturn have spent this year on the big stuff, breaking down old structures, dismantling old systems and traditions, and exposing the ingrained falsehoods and corruption of institutions. Now at the midpoint of a T-square, this historic planetary mulching machine is about to change the game because Libra's scales of justice are ready to flip. If you've sat quiet on something that doesn't add up, if you've been watching the balance and equality in a relationship eke down to a one-sided contribution, then you may be ready to address it and battle it out without backing down. If your fight has an ego-based win-at-all-cost approach, you could easily get consumed in the drama and escalation with little dignity. Mercury is opposite Uranus, and both planets are retrograde. Mercury is the planet of messages, and Uranus rules revolution and disruption. They are looking for innovative ways to communicate and get the message out. And there's a leap in adaptability and willingness to try a new way. There's also a bit of destiny in their current hookup to clear the slate and start with a new perspective. But on a bad day, this aspect can transmit shock, scandal and controversy like a broadcast. Both planets process information, and some aha moments, for better or worse, are likely to drop in this phase. Venus is also ready to clear the air. She's opposite Neptune and wanting to pin down all the details that slipped into vagaries. Neptune doesn't like details, preferring to bamboozle with charm and mystery instead. If someone has been buttering you up and avoiding a direct answer, step back and observe their motivation. We're in the mood to call it out, and sometimes that's enough to change the dynamic. With all this headbutting, we're never left hanging, and the planets have tossed in a free gift. There's a reassuring conversation between Libra Sun and Moon, Ceres in Aquarius, and the North Node in Gemini. Ceres is a dwarf planet who represents Mother Nature, food supply, seasonal extremes and cycles. She is also looking for balance and justice. And the North Node, the place of karmic growth, has opened an opportunity to strike a deal, an agreement, or a contract to protect her rights. This is when a debate can be heard fairly and reasonably, with a progressive result, mutual respect, and a natural flow, especially around parenting, children, the earth, and living arrangements. It shows us it's possible to deal with conflict without needing to dominate or belittle. Change may not materialize instantly with this moon, but it will be expressed with lines clearly drawn, no sugarcoating. In the tarot, Libra is represented by the Justice card and the Queen of Swords. This is feminine leadership through the analysis of facts and the wisdom to address what is out of balance with mercy. She does not defend her position, she upholds it. The full moon in 2 weeks will bring a culmination to this episode, potentially with fireworks and fanfare. But until then, balance your scales. Are you fighting to be right, or fighting because it's the right thing to do? I'm Merryl Key, and this is my mystery school. Like, follow, share and subscribe. If you'd like to learn tarot or my mystery school topics, find me at Teachable, my mystery school.